So in example 1 here, I want to find the derivative of the function f of x is x squared times e to the x times tan x. So the first step here is to split this up as a product. So maybe I'll think about it as x squared e to the x all multiplied by tan x. So here I'm going to do the derivative of the first part, x squared e to the x, times the second, which is tan x, plus the derivative of the second, which is tan x, times the first, which is x squared e to the x. Now I'm going to need a product rule again to do the derivative of x squared e to the x. So using the product rule there, I'm going to have the derivative of the first, which is x squared, times e to the x, plus the derivative of the second, which is e to the x, times x squared. And that whole thing is being multiplied by tan x. And then over here, I'm going to have the derivative of tan x times x squared e to the x. Now all I have to do is do these individual derivatives. The derivative of x squared is 2x. The derivative of e to the x is just e to the x. This whole thing is multiplied by tan x still. The derivative of tan x is secant squared of x. And this whole thing is still multiplied by x squared e to the x. So here is the formula for the derivative. In example 2 here, I have a quotient inside another quotient. Again, this is the inside quotient, that's the outside quotient. So I'm going to need two different quotient rules to do this derivative. So first I'm going to set up the outside quotient rule. I'm going to take the derivative of the top is x plus 1 over x minus 1, times the bottom, which is ln of x, minus the derivative of the bottom, so the derivative of ln x, times the top, which is x plus 1 over x minus 1, all over the bottom, which is ln of x squared. So when I do the derivative of this quotient, I'm going to need the quotient rule. So here I'm going to do the derivative of x plus 1 times the bottom, which is x minus 1, minus the derivative of the bottom, which is x minus 1, times the top, which is x plus 1, all over the bottom, which is x minus 1, squared. This whole thing is multiplied by ln x. Then I'm going to subtract ln of x prime, and I'm going to multiply that by x plus 1 over x minus 1. This whole thing needs to be divided by ln of x squared. So now, just do one more step and take the individual derivatives. The derivative of x plus 1 is 1. Multiply that by x minus 1. The derivative of x minus 1 is 1. Multiply that by x plus 1. This whole thing is divided by x minus 1 squared. Multiply this by ln x. Subtract the derivative of ln x is 1 over x. Multiply that by x plus 1 over x minus 1. And this whole thing is divided by ln x squared. As we can see, with two separate quotient rules, the derivative gets pretty darn complicated.